This is Dave with DRH Acrylic Creations. Today's pillow paint is Glitten Essentials in Eggshell. Our pouring medium is Vaspar Ultra and Varathane Polyurethane Triple Thick at a 3:1 ratio. Our paints are listed here. They are mixed 3 parts pouring medium to 1 part paint. And our cell activators here, it's titanium white and Payne's gray, mixed 3-part Australian Floetrol to 1 part paint. Okay, laying down the pillow paint now. Again, that's the Glitten Essentials in Eggshell. This first paint is Black Ice Metallic, and it's a Pourage Posse paint. As you can tell there, it has a little bit of a gold undertone to it. I'm going to lay 4 separate swaths of paint down here. All of my paints that I'm talking about today or adding here today will be listed down in the description below, along with the brand names, so you don't, in case you miss them here. If you have any questions, drop them down in the comments section below. I'd be happy to answer any questions. Our next paint is an Antique Copper Metallic. Again, that's a Pourage Posse paint. Looks very red here, but it is very coppery in person. It is very metallic. Had to add a little bit of my Jo Sonja water mix because it was a little bit thick as it sat waiting for me to work with it. 3 right down the center on each one of these. I was thinking I didn't have enough pillow on that one side. Our next paint is Chestnut Bronze, and that's a Pourage Posse paint. Every one of these are extremely pigmented and with lots and lots of shine. I should add a note that I am not paid or sponsored by any of the paint companies or people that I talk about in my videos. I only recommend them because I really like these paints and would hope that it would help you in finding things that work for you. Our next paint is Quinacridone Nickel Azote Gold, and this is a golden paint. I use this quite a bit now. It's my go-to. It is very adaptable. Goes with almost everything. On my Jo Sonja water mix, it literally is about 95% Jo Sonja and 5% water. It's just enough to make it a little bit more fluid. And it does a really good job. The thing about the Jo Sonja is, in trying to thin the paints down, you don't want to add a whole lot of water to this. It breaks down the pigments, and you don't get the cohesion as it sets up. So I tend to not put much water at all in my Jo Sonja water. Some people put as much as 25%. Okay, we're about ready here. This is ore, and it's a TLP, or this little pigment. This is a very bright and shiny gold, and it is actually my favorite. Okay, I'm just about ready to pick up my swiping tool. I'm going to fill the back of the tool with the Payne's gray. Again, that's with 3 parts Australian Floetrol to 1 part paint. And then I'm going to pick up the titanium white cell activator. Making sure I got my surface covered. Now if the titanium white cell activator goes on, I'll put a pretty decent swath down this. I've got to be careful because I've got 4 swipes I'm going to be doing here. And again, the titanium white is a Amsterdam product. Going on now is Tuscan Sun. That's ColorArte Prizm paint. Extremely bright color. Okay, here goes the first swipe. You'll see almost immediately that the cells pop up. Second swipe. Cut off some of the middle part, loading the back of the tool. Third swipe. And finally the last swipe. Okay, stretching it out a bit. See if we can get as much coverage as I can before I do anything else. About at this time, I'm starting to realize I had a lot of space between those two with a lot of white. So I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do about that. I think I'm going to end up picking up one of my small tools and adding another swipe in between those 2 white, and get a little bit more of the coverage in there so I don't have so much white. It's about to spin. Time to spin. And notice I don't give it a really hard spin. It's just enough to get it, the pigment, the extra paint, to move off the canvas, and maybe open up the cells just a little bit. And boy, did I get some cells with this one. Now I'm gonna spin the other direction. And what that does is, if you spin just one direction, you have cells that will lean one way or another. When you spin both ways, they kind of even out and get true cells. At least that's my thinking, and I'm sticking with it. I'm just saying that I'm really liking the cells on both sides in the middle. Trying to figure out what I'm going to do with that. I still have quite a bit of white there, and I'm not sure what to do. So I pick up my skewer and made some modifications to make it a little bit more interesting. Maybe fill in some of that white so it's not just a big old splotch of white. So I have no problem with white, but a little much. Stretch it out just a little bit. And I'm saying I probably need to remove some of the excess paint, because if I don't, it's going to go all over the room, and although I have tarps down on the floor, it's less cleanup later. I don't know about you, but when I'm painting, it gets on the floor, I tend to step in it, and well, you know the rest of the story. Time for another soft spin. See what kind of paint comes off and see how much is left on the board. looking at it, I'm saying, well, I've got to take some of this paint off. It's still quite a bit there. Spin it the other way. Just looking at it and see what's next. Okay, again, taking some more paint off so I can see what I'm up against. As you can see, there's quite a bit of paint on the board itself, on my spinning board. Another soft spin. It's not a fast spin, but it is. I like to let it go a little while so that it has time to move paint off the piece. Now the other direction. Okay, just making sure that I've got enough paint off, and I think we're getting pretty close. I'm actually liking what I'm seeing here. The cells are really something else. Pick up my large too. Give you a closer look at the wet results. Okay, and now the dry results. It really dried beautifully. If you found this video today useful, I'd invite you to give it a like, subscribe if you haven't already done so, and ring the bell for notifications of future videos. It is my goal to put out 3 per week, and I hope that you're finding them useful. I want to thank you very much for being here today.
Your support is more appreciated than you can imagine, and I hope you return and join us again soon.
Bye now.